Okay, hi, my name's Steve Price. I'm the solicitor for the board. Mr. Rabina is monitoring the hearing, but is having some technical difficulties. We have three decisions or three hearings tonight, and we have three decisions to render. But before we do that, why don't we have the board members introduce themselves, starting with Mr. Jones.
I'm Charlie Jones, member of the board.
Hello, Charlie.
Mr. Fox,
Tom Fox, member of the board.
Hello.
Mr. Gatone,
Jeff Gatone, member of the board.
Hello, Jeff.
Hi.
Mr. Bartz,
Jared Bartz, member of the board.
Good.
obviously
How's it
Phil.
going?
Bill can't introduce himself because of the technical difficulties. We'll start with the first decision, which is Appeal 2501-0005, Appeal of Reading Area Community College with respect to a property located at 25 South Front Street, City of Reading. Is there a motion to approve that relief?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second. Are there any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? Ayes have it. The next appeal is 2507-0023, appeal of our city Reading with respect to a property located at 229, 243, and 245 Washington Street, commonly known as the Goggle Works. Is there a motion to approve that relief?
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 All
Aye.
opposed? All right, ayes have it. Then the
Thank you
last
very
one
much.
is Appeal 2507-0025 with respect to a property located at 1333 Perkiomen Avenue. Is there a motion to approve that relief?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any comments or questions with respect to that motion? Okay, hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. Now, is the appeal for 313 Elm Street still on the agenda tonight, Emily?
Yes.
Okay, so we have four hearings actually. So that appeal is for Ms. London. Is Ms. London here?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Let me put some exhibits into the record and then you can enter your appearance, Ms. London.
All right.
First will be notice of the hearing. Second will be proof of publication of the notice. Third will be proof of posting of the notice. Fourth is the application, including all of its attachments. And the fifth is the zoning ordinance of the city of Reading. Can we have our zoning administrator sworn in?
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
You posted and publicized this notice?
Yes.
Okay. All right, with that, Ms. London, would you enter your appearance, please?
Joan London, London, Kozloff Stout, 2640 Westview Drive, Wyomissing 19610, for the property owner, Jesus Figueroa.
Okay, well, why don't you give us an offer of proof if you could? And then if we have questions, we'll swear any of your witnesses in.
I have two possible witnesses, Mr. Figueroa himself, also his engineer, Chris Mena, is present. I've forwarded to the zoning officer the CV for Mr. Mena, but I'll start with the offer of proof. Mr. Figueroa owns the property at 313 Elm Street. It's a lot size of approximately 3,920 square feet and a residence of approximately 2,512 square feet. It's in the R3 residential district and it has 6 bedrooms. He is asking to allow the board for a variance to allow the conversion from a 6-bedroom house, which is too large to be a single-family residence, into 3 apartments of 2 bedrooms each, and asking for variances from the apartment size requirements for 2-bedroom apartments, because changing the sizes would require a great deal of repartitioning, including moving weight-bearing walls, be extremely costly. There is space for off-street parking on the property in the rear. There are at least 3 spaces available. He is asking for a variance from the 1.5 spaces per unit requirement to allow for a variance for those spaces. We do believe, though, it's possible that they will be able to get 4 or even the required 5 spaces, but we're seeking the variance in the event that the city finds that more than 3 doesn't allow for sufficient maneuvering space, or avoiding having to back it up. And the hardship is, in addition to the size of the house, is also with the lot size and shape. This is a long, narrow lot, pre-existing high percentage of building coverage, restricting parking area. The owner has looked into renting parking spaces. There are no available spaces within 300 feet of the property. This is a use, the apartment use is one permitted by right in the R3. The statement of purpose of the R3 district itself states that this is a district that is intended for the highest densities of housing. These are low-rise apartments. There are other low-rise apartments in the area. There is some on-site parking, and the property is on a main street intended to accommodate travel and parking. Apartments are otherwise permitted by right in the district. It would not create overcrowding or undue traffic. And as a landlord, and you're welcome to ask Mr. Figueroa more about this, he would put rules into place in the lease to prevent noise, odors, or other negative impacts. It would not change, for the same reason, the character of the community between tenant selection and the lease, and that other apartments are permitted, and that other apartments are present in, and it's a use permitted by right in the district. It would not change the character of the community. The hardship was not self-created. There were no changes made to the height or the footprint of the building. There's no intention of making any changes to the height or footprints of the building. It's what we're asking for with the conversion and parking variances are the minimum variances necessary to allow reasonable use of this property in its neighborhood. There will also be positive impacts if the board would allow the apartment conversion. And what those would be refurbished, more attractive, code compliant, and safe housing at a reasonable price to help alleviate the workforce housing shortage in the city of Reading. I would like to have Mr. Figueroa sworn to see if he has anything to add, and also to adopt my statements as his testimony.
All right, just give me a second. In the zoning officer's review, it said that 3 2-bedroom apartments?
Yes, is that, I believe so. Mr. Figueroa, is that correct?
You repeat that because the call kind of broke up.
Yeah, there are a couple, I think we may have missed a couple of words.
How many apartments are you proposing? 3?
3 apartments, correct.
And 2 bedrooms apiece?
2 bedroom, so 2 of the 3 will be 2 bedrooms, and 1 will be 1 bedroom.
Okay. All right, well, let's have him sworn then.
Will you please raise your right hand? Do you swear the testimony about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. State your full name for the record.
Jesus Figueroa Hernandez.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. London.
Mr. Figueroa, were you present when I gave my statement and narrative and offer of proof?
Yes.
And if you had been asked questions, would you have answered them similarly?
Yes.
With the exception of one of the apartments being a one-bedroom apartment as corrected.
That's good.
Is there anything that you want to add to the statements that I made?
Nothing at all.
Okay. I don't have any further questions for Mr. Figueroa.
Does anybody on the board have any questions of Mr. Figueroa or Ms. London? Seeing
No.
none. Is there anybody in the audience who has a question for Ms. London or Mr. Figueroa?
Nope.
Okay. Is there anybody in the audience who wants to testify for this application?
Steve, I have some questions.
Okay, Emily.
Okay, and Mr. Mena, who is the engineer for the project, is also here, and if you need him sworn, he is also, I was planning on having him testify as to the plans.
All right. My first question is, when purchasing the property, how is this property advertised as?
Single family.
I'm sorry?
Single family home.
Okay. And was your intention always to convert this, or was it to be a place where you and your family lived in?
At first, I wanted to live in the property, and then I had thoughts of converting it.
Okay. And then I just want to make sure that everyone's aware the variance for the habitable area for the one apartment and any variances for parking, that's all under the city council purview under the conditional use application if this board were to approve the conversion of a single family home. So I just want to make sure everyone is aware of that.
So the only issue in front of the board is whether they would allow it to happen, but then everything else goes to city council.
Yes. That's all I have.
All right. You want your engineer to, or architect to
I'd
test?
just like to ask a question on redirect, and then I will ask Mr. Mena to testify.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Figueroa, you're muted. Could you put your microphone back on? Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Can you tell us why your family is not living in that property?
We're currently living in that property.
You're currently living in the property.
Yes.
Okay. And as far as apartments, is it really marketable as a single family home with 6 bedrooms?
Yes.
I don't think I have anything further. Mr. Mena,
Yes.
Will you please raise your right hand? Do you swear the testimony about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. State your full name for the record.
Okay.
Your full name for the record.
Christopher J. Mena,
Thank
M as in Mary, E, 2 N's like Nancy, A.
okay, Mr. Mena, what is your business address?
Business address is 2900 South Sydenham, Sydenham, Suite number 1, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19145.
Okay. Are you licensed as a professional engineer in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you been licensed as a professional engineer?
That would be 23 years.
Okay. You had forwarded to me a resume, which I forwarded to the zoning officer for the board to review. I'd like it marked as Exhibit 1. Is that resume an accurate summary of your professional credentials and affiliations and experience?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'd like to have Mr. Mena qualified as an expert in civil engineering.
Sure. Admitted.
Okay, thank you. Did you, along with Green North Studio, prepare the plans submitted with the application to the zoning hearing board?
Yes.
Were these plans prepared in accordance with code requirements of the city of Reading as well as state requirements for multifamily housing?
Yes,
And could you describe the building on the property?
sure. It is a footprint of 1,077 square feet. The residence has a square footage of 2,512 square feet. It is a three-story masonry row home. It is an end of row condition, and it has both a rear side yard as well as front yard.
Were you present during Mr. Figueroa's testimony?
The testimony today, yes, ma'am.
Or during my statement and Mr. Figueroa's adoption of testimony? And do you agree with statements made about the property and its size and shape?
Yes,
Do you agree that the long, narrow shape of the property limits the ability to provide off-street parking?
yes,
Do you agree that there would be a great deal of expensive work involved to create apartments of minimum sizes, including moving weight-bearing walls to repartition?
there I would like to clarify. Actually, there would be no alterations to the load-bearing walls, which are on the sides. Everything would be the partitions only on the inside. And I would say about 70 to 80% of the original partitions would be intact. So it's just about that 20% that would be altered.
In order, if to create apartments of compliant size.
Yes.
And let's go to the plan that you prepared, pages 1 of 4, which is the title sheet. We'll start with the site plan. Does this show an overview of the lot layout with buildings and a parking area?
Yes, it's an accurate depiction. Yes.
Now, the site plan shows 3 spaces and maneuver. Is that in the parking area in the back of the building along an alley?
It is.
And is the parking as shown configured so as to avoid backing onto a street?
Could you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Is the parking as shown on the title sheet configured so as to avoid backing onto a street?
Backing into that alley, yes. Yes.
Okay. So back into the alley as opposed to a main street?
Correct.
And do you know what the dimensions are of the spaces as shown on that site plan?
Yes, the minimum space allowed was 9 by 18.
Okay. And the site plan shows 3 spaces. Do you believe an extra 1 to 2 spaces are possible?
That would be possible. And looking at the plan view here, the space, the furthest one to the right would have to be deleted, which would allow pass-through towards the front of the property. It would be possible to add 1 or 2 additional spaces along the side bearing wall of the property. However, you would have to back out a long distance. It is not possible to turn around easily in that area. Typically, you need a maneuverable lane of about 24 feet. That's 18 feet. So it's really a single lane more or less, and you would have to stack parking or back in and out to the alley.
Now, talking about the layout of the layout, did the plans that you prepare, did the plans that are attached to the application follow the pre-existing partitioning of the building?
Yes.
Okay, and looking at the page of the plans titled existing architectural layout, could you describe the current layout of the first, second, and third floors?
Sure. This is originally a house, approximately 100 years old. So let me get my place here. The first floor is pretty much living room, dining room, kitchen, vestibule, parlor type situation. The second floor has, I believe, a common bathroom and 3 bedrooms. And then the third floor has 2 bedrooms.
Okay. Now I'd like you to go to the next page, which is titled, Proposed Architectural Layout. And Emily, if you could share the screen to show that and move it up a page. Okay, could you describe the design for partitioning the current building into 3 apartments? Looking at the area of the first, second, and third partial third floor apartment.
You'll see in the plan views some shaded wall sections. They would be the changes in the partitions. Some are infill, some are new walls. The rest of the partitions, which just look like white rectangles more or less, they are original and would remain intact. So the intent would be to have the 3 units as previously described with proper egress and meeting the line safety requirements, and having each unit being individual and private, closed off from the others.
The final sheet of the plan is titled Life Safety and Emergency Egress Plan, and I think you may have just alluded to that. Was this prepared based on city and state codes and regulations for emergency egress?
Yes.
And how does this plan provide for emergency exits?
Well, we have items that you would typically expect. There's a layout of smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. There are emergency lights and exit signs in the egress corridors and or stairwells. Other than that, you would have the original construction of the house, which is most likely plaster on lath, which will probably give you an equivalent 1-hour fire rating compared to modern layers of fire rated drywall. The only thing would be that in this project they would have to supplement with additional fire rated drywall, 1-hour frames and doors to complement the original plaster walls that are there.
Does the design make any changes to the height or footprint of the building?
No.
Do you believe there will be any positive impacts from this use?
I believe it will be positive impacts, as you previously mentioned.
Okay, and for what reasons do you believe would be positive impacts from this project?
There will be no alterations to the outside. The amount of cars in the back and potentially on the side would not really have a negative impact to the neighborhood as far as I can see. There is room, although initial maneuvering would be necessary. It would provide, market rate apartments to a dense urban area. And I'm not 100% sure, but I believe the owner intends to live in one of the units, so he would have a vested interest and be there as well. So,
Do you believe that these are the minimum variances which will allow the reasonable use of the property?
as previously mentioned, you would converting to multifamily and the parking variances. As far as I know, that would be accurate representation of what is required.
Are all the opinions you gave this evening rendered with a reasonable degree of professional certainty?
Yes.
I don't have any further questions.
Do any members of the board have a question for this witness?
Yeah, I do have a question, if I may.
Sure.
Sure.
I'm looking at, and please forgive me if I'm having trouble here. I'm
Okay.
looking at the proposed architectural layout section. Guess it was page A102. And I see you have, looking on the left, I see apartment A, apartment B, apartment C. That's on the first floor, second floor. Then I see proposed architectural layout, third floor. Now, apartment A, it shows, I guess, 2 bedrooms, apartment. First floor, 2 bedrooms. Second floor, do I not see 2 bedrooms on that one?
Okay, perhaps I
Now,
can.
on the third floor,
Go ahead.
I see 2 bedrooms, but I
Yes, sir.
see on the third floor, no kitchens, bath. Explain to me that drawing. I don't
Yes, sir.
understand.
Let me clarify,
ahead.
understanding. Apartment A is intended to be the first floor, as you had mentioned.
All right.
Apartment B is intended to be a portion of the second floor, but not all of it. Apartment C would actually be 2 levels. So it would be a portion of the second floor and third floor. So perhaps that is the clarity that you're looking for.
So apartment C, in effect, correct me, it would then be 3 bedrooms. Am I reading this picture wrong? If what you said.
Is it possible that we could bring up the plan? If someone can share that, please, and I will try
So
to explain it.
what it is, apartment A is 2 bedrooms, apartment B is 1 bedroom, apartment C is 3 bedrooms.
Ah,
Thank you.
okay.
You're welcome.
Did the question ever come up, just to have, instead of having three apartments, to have just 2, with one of them being the expanded one? Then you wouldn't have to worry about that parking situation. Just a thought, did that come up to call it a 2-bedroom house? I'm sorry, 2 apartment house.
I believe that was entertained. However, what's being proposed is what the owner is seeking, sir.
Okay, because these old tall houses, that's the way they used to work in the olden days. People lived on all the floors. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, anybody else have any questions for this witness? All right. Anybody in the audience have questions for this witness? Seeing none. Anybody in the audience want to testify for this application? Seeing none. Anybody want to testify against this application? Seeing none. Okay. The decision will be rendered at the October meeting. You don't have to be present. A copy will be sent to you by the zoning office. Anything else, Ms. London?
Nothing in this case. I'd move for the admission of Exhibit 1.
You're admitted.
Thank you.
All right. Now we have hearing on appeal 2508-0027, 210 Maple Street, Reading Parking Authority, seeking variances with respect to a surface parking lot. I believe Mr. Felenke is present to give testimony with respect to the request. I'll put some exhibits into the record and I'll have Emily sworn in. Exhibit number 1 is the notice. Exhibit number 2 is proof of publication of the notice. Number 3 is proof of posting of the notice. Exhibit number 4 is the application, including all of its attachments. And exhibit number 5 is the zoning ordinance of the city of Reading as amended. Let's swear Ms. Diaz in.
Do you swear the testimony about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Did you make sure that this property was posted and that there was publication of the notice?
Yes.
All right, with that, Mr. Felenke, we'll swear you in. You're the only representative here tonight, right?
No, I do have Malin Boyer with me. He's also online here.
Oh, I didn't realize there was an attorney. Didn't say that. Okay. So let's have Mr. Boyer enter his appearance and do an offer of proof, and then we'll swear you in, Mr. Falenki.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Malin Boyer. Bingham and Hess, 2 Meridian Boulevard, Wyomissing, PA, appearing tonight for the Reading Parking Authority, the applicant. The offer of proof would be in regard to the executive director of the Parking Authority, Rafael Batista. As noted, he is the current executive director. He would confirm that the Parking Authority owns the real property at 210 Maple Street via deed dated August 15, 2024. The Parking Authority wants to construct a surface parking lot at this property as part of its citywide parking relief program that I'll be referring to as the CPR program. The CPR program is meant to create available parking for city residents throughout the city to alleviate the current parking crisis in the city. It is anticipated that the proposed parking lot will be used by residents living in the surrounding area via the use of monthly residential parking permits. Residents are already contacting the parking authority to request parking spaces at the proposed parking lot, even though it hasn't been constructed yet. In regard to Mr. Falenki, he will testify that he is a professional engineer employed by McCarthy Engineering. McCarthy Engineering has designed a surface parking lot for 210 Maple Street. The property is currently vacant. Previous buildings on the property were raised. As designed, the parking lot will be a paved parking lot to accommodate 41 parking spaces for use by the surrounding residents. It will be owned and operated by the parking authority. It will have a single entry and exit point onto Maple Street with the use of a concrete apron. Maple Street is one-way south with parking on the east side and no parking on the west side. The proposed parking lot will have new lighting installed and will be monitored remotely. And I would just have Mr. Falenki briefly testify as to the variances being sought and the basis for each.
Sure. Let's swear Mr. Falenki in, please.
Do you swear the testimony about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right.
Malin did a very good job of describing the entire lot. So I'll just go briefly through the variances. I will say, though, that this is the 4th parking lot that we have that's been before this board. We had McKnight Street, Green Street. We had 213 11th Street, all approved by the board with very similar variances. So we're basically asking for the same items, obviously, for the use itself, as Malin described. This is the real use here is the surrounding community is allowed to use this project. So that's one of the variances that we are requesting. The others had to do with some buffering. The front along Maple Street, again, that is the only active street here. Parking authority can very easily see any vandalism going on and people that are parking there. So we are asking that frontage be not screened and so that easily can be for security purposes. We will have a buffer there. There will be a 4-foot grass buffer there, but we just didn't want to put any plants in that way in the area for security purposes. As you see this picture right here, on the right-hand side, the alley and the rear alley, we are planning on buffering the right side, but we are putting a fence along that side alley as well as a fence in the back alley. So we're again requesting relief for those items. In the back, we do not want to plant shrubs back there, again, because you can't see it from this angle, but it's a steep drop off. So we're planning on putting a curb along there with a fence to protect the cars, etc. But to plant on that slope in the back is very difficult. So we were again, part of our request is not screening that back area. And then to the far left, along those buildings, we can put some screening, although I did note in your zoning officer's review, he says screening wasn't necessary, but we'll put some screening there anyway. So that had those issues regarding buffering and the distances of those bufferings. Also the driveway, if you can see in this picture, there is a driveway already there now. Our driveway is actually going to be closer to the alley only because we have to make it 24-foot wide as a request from the fire department to get the fire trucks in. And in order to get the parking layout properly, we have to move it closer. That's why we need a variance getting it closer to the alley. Making sure I covered all those variances. We also, the parking spaces for the ADA, again, we want to comply with the requirements for ADA, which are different from the city, but we will be compliant for handicap parking spaces. And I just wanted to make sure. And okay, sidewalk. As you can see, the front sidewalk here along Maple is not as deep. So one of the issues, we've been trying to put some planting trees along the road. In this case, if I put a planting tree there, there's no more sidewalk left. So we really can't put any shrubbery along Maple Street because of that situation. And finally, I wanted to point out your code office indicated I did not need a variance for impervious cover. As you can see, this lot is 100% paved. The building took up the entire block. The reason why I'm asking for confirmation from the zoning hearing board, as your approval process, I need to go through land development process, and I always run into the city planning department where they require me to do stormwater detention basins, but this property is already paved, and I'm going to appeal to them to say it's already paved. I don't need stormwater control. Actually, what we're going to do is improve the situation here by putting some grass out there. So that's going to be my natural stormwater control. But the city, for some reason, is making us put these detention basins on these properties, and it's becoming a real difficulty because these are buildings that were torn down. So there's basements under here, and it causes all kind of other problems. So I'm only looking for the zoning board to acknowledge that this lot was 100% covered in pavement. I believe I covered briefly as possible, the variances that we're looking for tonight.
Do any members of the board have any questions for Mr. Falenki?
No.
Molly, do you have any questions for Mr. Falenki? No? All right. Anybody in the audience have any questions for Mr. Falenki? Anybody in the audience want to testify for this application? Anybody in the audience want to testify against this application? Seeing none. All right, with that, we'll close the evidentiary portion of this hearing. As always, the decision will be rendered next month. A copy will be sent to you, and you don't have to be present. Thank you, Mr. Boyer and Mr. Falenki.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
You too.
Can anybody hear me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Well-
okay. Well, it keeps going in and out, so I'm just going to keep quiet. So,
All right. Our next hearing is Appeal 2508-0028 806 Franklin Street, seeking a variance for minimum floor area and maximum walking distance to off-street parking spaces. I will put in some exhibits, and then we'll have Ms. Diaz sworn in. Exhibit number 1 is the notice. Exhibit number 2 is proof of publication of the notice. Exhibit number 3 is proof of posting of the notice. And exhibit number 4 is the zoning ordinance or the application, including all of its attachments. And exhibit number 5 is the zoning ordinance of the city of Reading as amended. Let's swear Emily in, please.
Do you swear the testimony about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
And did you make sure that this property was posted and public notice was put in the paper?
Yes.
Okay. With that, I believe Ms. London is involved in this hearing as
Yes,
well.
Yes, I represent the applicant.
Okay, why don't we have you do an offer of proof and we'll go from there.
All right, well, first enter my appearance, Joan London, Kozloff Stout, 2640 Westview Drive, Wyomissing, for the applicant. To give an offer of proof, Mario Batista is a member of My MGT Properties LLC. I'm assuming that means My Management Properties LLC, which is the applicant. The applicant is a tenant of the building at 806 Franklin Street. And 806, the property at 806 Franklin Street is owned by Reading Property 2 LLC. Mr. Batista is authorized to ask for the relief that is being requested from the board. This is a property that is located in the CR, Commercial Residential District of the city. The property dimensions are 21 feet wide and 119 feet long. It's a long, narrow property area of approximately 2,499 square feet. This is less than the 3,000 square foot lot area and 30-foot lot width needed for most uses, including apartments, and there's also no space for parking on the lot or within 300 feet. The property and the zoning officer shared the screen to show this, resembles a residential property, although it is classified as commercial. Neither the owners nor the applicant have made any changes to the building or the lot. There have been arrangements made for parking, and that was submitted with the application. You'll see with the application an agreement with the Reading Parking Authority for 6 spaces at the South Penn parking garage. The South Penn parking garage, using the measuring tool on the county assessment office website, is approximately 635 feet from 806 Franklin Street. Mr. Batista, if he were testifying, would tell you of other attempts made to find closer spaces, but that he was not able to do so. The property is currently not occupied. Mr. Batista would like to convert it to a multifamily residence with 3 apartments and a commercial use at street level. There were plans that were prepared and submitted to the zoning office with the application. And I see that Mr. Vallis, who prepared the plans, is here and available to testify. The basement would be used for mechanical and storage. First floor is street level, which would be a commercial use, and it would be a commercial use that would be compatible with the neighborhood and permissible in the zoning district. There would be an apartment on the first floor, as well as an apartments on the second and third floor, with each having a living area, sleeping area, full bath, and kitchen. There was a staff report issued by the city on Monday, and it recommended that if the variances that the applicant is asking for were to be granted, that the apartments be limited to 1-bedroom apartments. Mr. Batista has indicated that he would agree to that, and I will ask that he confirm that on the record. Neither Mr. Batista nor his LLC nor the owners have done anything to change the height or footprint of the building. If the conversion were allowed, there would be clauses in all leases to prevent noise, fumes, odors, overcrowding, or other negative impacts, and the commercial user would be selected on that basis as well. There would be no negative impacts or change in character to the neighborhood. There would be no change in the exterior appearance of the building. You can see that the building is compatible with the others on the street. The neighborhood has mixed-use residential and commercial properties with apartments, and apartments are necessary to meet housing demands. The variances being requested are the minimum necessary to allow the reasonable use of the property, and if allowed, it would put a vacant property into productive use and provide new, clean, safe, and code compliant housing. Mr. Batista is present, and I'd like you to have him sworn to confirm that this would be his testimony.
Yeah, but let me ask our zoning administrator a question. If it's 3 1-bedrooms, do they meet the minimum square footage for 1-bedrooms?
So I was only recommending for the smaller of the two. There was the one apartment on the first floor and then the rear apartment on the second floor to be reduced to 1 bedroom. They still wouldn't be compliant with habitable area, but they are a lot closer.
Okay, so, but there will be proposed 3 apartments and 1 commercial use.
Yes.
Okay, and you've heard that the closest parking is about 650 feet away, and you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Ms. London, why don't you have Mr. Batiste be sworn in and confirm?
Mr. Batista, could you turn your camera on?
Sure.
All right,
There
will
he
you please raise your right hand? Do you swear the testimony about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Mr. Batista, were you present and heard and understood my statement and offer of proof?
Yes, I did.
And were you in agreement that if asked questions, those would be your answers?
Yes, I am.
Towards the end of the statement, we talked about the staff report from the city and reduction of the smaller apartments to 1 bedroom as opposed to 2. Can you confirm that you are in agreement with that if the board were to grant the variances?
Absolutely, not a problem at all.
Okay. Do you have anything to add to the statements that I made?
No, I do not. I'm actually pretty good with it. Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You're welcome.
I have one other witness present, John Vallis.
He didn't. I think he's having issues he's having trouble logging on.
Okay, I had seen him logged on before.
What would the
Yeah,
purpose of his testimony be?
His testimony would be as to the plans that were submitted with the application that he drew. It would show the basement as a
Utility.
mechanical room and storage area, and would show the first floor commercial use, 15 feet by 10 feet by 11 by 4 feet, which would be 179 square feet. So it'd be a small commercial use with storage and a restroom available. And then it also shows a 2-bedroom apartment on the first floor. It shows the second floor plan that has an apartment with a living room, kitchen, and dining area, and again 2 bedrooms. And for the third floor plan, it shows again a small 2-bedroom apartment.
But those are gonna have to be revised because of
And
what.
that's correct. Those would need to be revised.
All right, so if you can get revised plans to Emily and she can deliver them to us for our deliberations, that would be very helpful.
Okay, if Mr. Vallis is here, we do need that. And Mr. Batista, if you could relay that to Mr. Vallis to revise the plans.
Absolutely, that's not a problem. We can have them for you by next week.
Okay, that's great. All right, does
Thank you.
anybody have any questions for Mr. Batista?
Nope.
Seeing none, does anybody have any testimony in favor of this application? Seeing none, does anybody have any testimony in opposition to this application? Seeing none, okay, and we're gonna have a workshop session, Joan, probably in the next 2 weeks or so after we get the transcripts and we get your revised drawings, and so that'll be helpful.
All right, we will get them to you as soon as we can.
Okay, great. Well, then we'll close this hearing and we'll move to The last but not the least, Mr. Keith Mooney, Appeal 25080029 Nichols Street. And I'll put some exhibits into the record. Exhibit number 1 is the notice. Exhibit number 2 is proof of publication of the notice. Exhibit number 3 is proof of posting of the notice. Exhibit number 4 is the application, including all of its attachments. And exhibit number 5 is the zoning ordinance of the city of Reading as amended. I'll have Emily sworn in and I'll ask her a question and then we'll have Mr. Mooney enter his appearance.
You swear the testimony about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Emily, did you post and publish notice of this appeal?
Yes.
Okay, with that, Mr. Mooney, we'll turn it over to you. You want to enter your appearance?
You're muted.
You're muted.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me now? My name is Keith Mooney. I'm with the law firm of Barley Snyder, 2755 Century Boulevard, Wyomissing, PA 19610. And I have one witness who I can give an offer of proof for, Mr. Stephen Trainer.
Sure.
Okay. The offer of proof would be that Mr. Trainer is the sole member of 842 Nichols Street LLC, and that 842 Nichols Street LLC is the owner of 842 Nichols Street, which is the subject matter premises. And as that sole member, he has the authority to pursue the zoning relief that has been requested for 842 Nichols Street. We are pursuing a special exception for adaptive reuse of the residential portion of this structure. The project will consist of taking the home on the structure, the residential portion of it, and making it from one home into 2 apartments. There would be 1 3-bedroom apartment in what is the single family home portion, and then the second floor extension would consist of a 2-bedroom apartment. We did submit a layout of the floor plan with our application. The 3-bedroom unit would be in excess of 1,000 square feet, and the 2-bedroom unit is in excess of 700 square feet. So we believe they do comply. We would be able to put adequate parking on the property. You cannot see it from the picture that is shown on the screen, but the property goes back several. Correct. There you go. Several hundred feet in the back, and there's adequate area to establish the requisite 3 parking spaces to go along with the project.
Is that big building to the right?
That's all one property, yes.
So was this an industrial or commercial use?
It's both. So if you see the property, you see the overhang there?
Yes.
Everything, the top portion of the overhang is what we call the second floor extension. And then everything to the left of that is residential. It looks like a row home there.
Yeah.
So that would be the 3-bedroom apartment. And then the second floor overhang, which is it's just a shade under 800 square feet. We got it clocked in at 798, would be the second apartment, the 2-bedroom apartment. And then everything to the right of that is warehouse and storage space.
Gotcha.
And that's the 2 buildings to the right of it, not just one. And it's all on the same property.
All right. Is anybody currently living there or not?
Mr. Trainer would have to answer that. I don't know if anybody's currently there or not.
No, not currently.
All right. All right. And
he would
let me swear Mr. Trainer in because I got a couple questions I would want to ask him.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Trainer, in that warehouse, do you have a lot of car or truck traffic going in there every day, or is it sparse?
Sparse, sir.
Okay. Is it your use there? I mean, you warehouse things there?
Yes, we use it for storage of excess supplies, equipment, backup equipment, postal supplies for our primary business.
So it's not, third parties aren't coming in and out of there at all times of the day and night. It's just you and you're.
That is correct, sir. Yes.
Okay. Right. That's all I had for Mr. Trainer.
Okay. He would further testify that 30% of the cumulative gross floor area, strike that, excuse me, that the residential structure is less than 30% of the cumulative gross floor area of the combined buildings on the property. He would also testify that the warehouse storage facility is more than 70% of the cumulative gross floor area of the combined buildings on the property. Then he would testify that he believes the proposed project is consistent with the City of Reading comp plan. He would further testify that he believes the property is suitable for the use desired and that the proposed request is consistent with the goals, objectives, and policies established within the zoning ordinance. He would further testify that he believes the proposed project does not create an undue concentration of population. He would further testify that he believes the proposed project does not create a threat to the public health or safety. Further testify that he does not believe that the proposed project is detrimental to the appropriate use of adjacent properties through the generation of significant nuisances or hazards. He will further testify that he believes the project is consistent with the uses located in the surrounding neighborhood. He would further testify that he does not believe the proposed project would impair an adequate supply of light or air to adjacent properties. He would further testify that he does not believe that the project would increase traffic congestion along the streets that it services or create a traffic safety hazard. We would provide alternate testimony in the event that the board believed that we did not meet the special exception requirements. My client would testify that he believes that the second floor extension creates a hardship in that it makes the residential portion of the structure much larger than a typical row home, and therefore he has significant issues with trying to rent it as one building because the square footage makes it the rent substantially more than that of a typical row home in the city, and that's the nature of the area that the property is located in. He believes that he has not created that hardship himself. The property was set up this way when he purchased it, and that due to the size and structure of the building and the physical circumstances therein, it creates an unnecessary hardship. He believes because of such physical conditions, there is no possibility that the property can be developed in strict conformity with the provisions of the zoning ordinance, and that the authorization of a variance is therefore necessary to enable the reasonable use of the property. He believes he has not created such unnecessary hardship, as in the property was this way when he purchased it. He believes that if the variance is authorized, it will not alter the essential character of the neighborhood or district in which the property is located, nor substantially or permanently impair the appropriate use or development of adjacent property, nor be detrimental to the public welfare. And he believes if the variance, if authorized, would represent the minimum variance that would afford relief and will represent the least modification possible of the regulation in issue. And that would be his testimony.
All right. Do any board members have any questions for either Mr. Mooney or Mr. Trainer?
Mr. Fox, I have one.
To whom, Mr. Trainer?
To the owner, yes. Sir, you mentioned supplies. Any chemicals or anything that would cause any kind of a fire that would be that? What's being stored in there?
No, sir. Nothing, no chemicals or anything like that. It's all dry supplies.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else have a question for either Mr. Trainer or Mr. Mooney?
Nope.
Hearing none. Does anybody in the audience have any questions for Mr. Trainer or Mr. Mooney? Hearing none. Any testimony against this application? Seeing none. Any testimony in favor of this application? Seeing none. So as you know, Mr. Mooney, We're gonna have a workshop in a couple of weeks, and then a decision will be rendered at the October meeting, and a copy will be sent to you by the zoning office.
All right, thank you.
Thank
And
you
I
very much.
believe the deed was attached to our application that was put into evidence.
Yes,
So I don't think I need to ask for it to be put in evidence again.
no,
So thank you.
yep. So, gentlemen and Ms. Diaz, Melendez, we're gonna do a workshop session. I'd like you there, Emily, just so we make sure we're hitting all the dots on the i's and the t's crossed, because some of this was a little confusing, because the applications got kind of bollocksed up a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
no problem.
Okay, so I'll have Glenda coordinate that with you gentlemen and with Emily, and we'll meet in like 2 weeks after we get those revised plans and the transcripts, if that's okay.
That's
That's fine.
fine.
All right, great, guys.
All right.
Good night, everybody.